Hi everyone, it's Nicole Wilkins with FitnessRx for Women, and this is my next question and answer segment where I took your questions from Facebook and I'm going to answer them for you today. The first question, Nicole, I'd like you to discuss what realistic timelines are for building muscle and losing body fat. Can you talk about your own experience? Well, this is going to depend on every individual. It will depend on... I'm going to go off and say that it's much easier to lose weight than it is to build muscle. It takes, if you have a lot of weight to lose, obviously you're going to lose it much quicker than somebody who's already lean and is looking to lose 5 to 10 pounds. If you're trying to build muscle, for a woman on average, 2 to 5 pounds in a year is a really good amount of muscle to gain. So in my experience, I can gain weight very fast, but it takes me months to lose 10 pounds. So you have to be very diligent and consistent in order to see those changes. But I know that even though throughout the last 10 years or so of competing, my contest weight on stage has only fluctuated about 6 to 7 pounds, and that's in an 11-year span. My shape looks completely different. So I just keep lifting heavy and keep being consistent and keep eating healthy, and over time is when you see the changes. But how fast those happen depend on how on your body type and how long you've been at it and how strict and disciplined you really are. If you take weeks off at a time and then are hard for a month or two, and then you take a month off, and then obviously it's going to take you a lot longer for you to see those results. Hi Nicole, I know you've said when it comes to weightlifting, go as heavy as you can for as many reps as you can. What are your thoughts on those last few reps where the form gets a little sloppy? Do you push out a few more than less than perfect reps at that heavy weight, or do you lower the weight and stay strict? Let me clarify. When I said you should go as heavy as you can for as many reps as you can, what I mean by that is so many people get so stuck on I have to hit 10 or I have to hit 15 reps, and they're not focusing on the exercise itself and how it feels. You should lift heavy, but that doesn't mean you should do 20 to 30 repetitions, because if you can do that many, then you're not lifting heavy enough. But I always, number one, think that form takes precedent. So you could get injured if you're lifting so heavy that your form is all over the place. You'll notice in videos that I do, if you're on my site and I do long videos, you'll see that when I'm training, if I'm fatiguing out, sometimes I'll just do half reps, where I just go half down or half up. If I lift on my own 99% of the time, and when I'm doing free weight stuff, if I'm doing presses, for example, I will lift a weight where I know I can get about 12 reps. Sometimes it might be 10 if I'm not feeling that strong, or 8. Sometimes it might be 15. And then the next set I'll go up in weight. But if I feel like I'm not going to be able to push out another one, which takes time to understand how your body is going to, how you're going to be able to do it. But I might just go half up and then realize if I were to go up anymore, I could either A, hurt myself, or B, lose complete form. So I'll go half up and I'll feel stuck knowing that I can't push anymore, and then I'll bring it back down. And then I'll move on to the next set. But never should you, lose your form so bad that you could increase your risk of injury. How do you build out your V-taper to make your waist look smaller, especially if you have a naturally thicker waistline? Okay, a couple things. The V-taper is right underneath the armpit, so that's what makes your upper body look more broad, and that can create the illusion that you have a smaller waist. When you are training your back, focus on wide grip pull downs and any type of pull down, because that's going to work your higher lat. So wide grip, narrow grip, reverse grip, close grip, one arm, high row, anything that comes from above the head and down will help with the width of your back. The other thing is, when you're training abs, I wouldn't recommend doing any weighted stuff to the side. So weighted side bends and stuff is just going to build thickness to your midsection and not give you the look that you're looking for. Hi Nicole, I would like to know what exercises I can do to remove fat from the armpit area. Well, unfortunately, there's no like armpit targeting exercise. The only way you're going to lose fat from that specific area is if you lose fat from your whole body altogether. So that's going to come from total weight loss. In the meantime, if you make sure that you're training all muscle groups in your upper body, so don't forget to hit your chest and your back and your shoulders, and that will help build up some muscle around that area, so that way when you lose the body fat you can see the definition. And the last question I have is, I would like to know what you would do if you were in some other place for a long time, greater than a month, without access to a gym and the equipment. Would body weight workouts or light weights like water bottles be sufficient to maintain the muscle mass or prevent a great loss? Also, I would like to know what you do on vacation. Do you just try to move a lot every day, or do you do your strength training routines? Thank you. You are a great inspiration. I definitely would do calisthenics, which is body weight stuff. So squats, plyometrics, walking lunges, push-ups, and pull-ups on a bar. But I would also bring resistance bands, because that's a great way to add resistance without having a whole set of dumbbells. When I am on vacation, I always do cardio in the morning. That's kind of like my routine. If I don't have access to a gym, then I'll do those things that I mentioned before. If I do have access to a gym, I really try to get there at least half of the trip. So if I'm gone for 6 days, I try to get there 3 days. I do it early so it doesn't take away from anything that I'm doing with my family or friends. But I do think it's important to, if physical activity is an important part of your life, even if you're on vacation, that doesn't always mean to like halt everything and just sit back in a chair, although that's okay sometimes too. For me, I just feel better if I'm active, and a lot of times I will make that time to just stick with my routine, so when I come back I don't feel like I've gotten too far behind. So those are my questions for this week. Until next week, keep asking your questions on the FitnessRx for Women Facebook page, and I'll be back here every Friday to answer them for you. Until then, keep living the fit life.